So I wanted to make a really quick video. I only got like about 15 minutes and I got to jump to my next meeting, but I wanted to make a quick video about setting expectations being a software developer. So today I was in a meeting and the owner of this software, he's a visionary, he's a move very fast kind of guy. And I noticed I was kind of playing mediary in between the dev team and in between the stakeholder and what the stakeholder wanted. And so what I noticed is that the developers were very apprehensive to tell the stakeholder or the owner of the software that what you're asking for and what you want, it might not be achievable within the time frame that you wanted, right? And the explanation that I kind of got from the dev team is like, well, this is how he is, and this is just how it is. This is what he wants. This is what we need to deliver. No pushback, no challenge, no collaboration, no nothing. And I was just really disappointed with that. And being a software development company owner, employing multiple software developers, having built software and sold it and exited a company, I just think that far too often developers need to break out of their shell and be willing to go against the status quo, number one, and number two, to be able to actually voice their opinions. I think if you're a software developer and you're watching this right now, and if you find yourself in a future conversation where you feel timid, where you feel like you are afraid to basically challenge the authorities in terms of, can this be done in this time frame? Is this actually the best way to develop the solution? I really implore you to communicate what is on your mind and what your gut is telling you, and I really encourage you to make sure that you can articulate your idea across to all parties involved in a very clear way. Drive a lot of clarity into how you articulate that, and be okay with going slow and taking a second to think about your response and then provide your response. The worst thing that could possibly happen is that you as a software developer are just a glorified yes man or yes woman. We don't need any more of that. There's enough of those people out there in the world, and unfortunately, if we all just follow the direction of, here's my plan, here's my idea, I'm a yes man, I'm a yes woman, I'm just going to say yes because that's what you want, and I can't push back on that, I can't provide any other insights, I can't steer the conversation in a direction where we're going to actually have the best outcome, that's a problem. So I really encourage you, if you're a software developer, which chances are, if you're watching this channel, you are a software developer, do not hold back and filter your opinions, right? Do not hold back and filter your recommendations. Now, it doesn't mean that you're entitled to have everybody agree with you. It doesn't mean that you're entitled to change their mind. But being in a position where you are basically dictated what to do and how to do it from somebody who can't do it themselves, that's already, you're already in a position where it's like, nobody's going to benefit from that, right? If you just basically say like, okay, we'll do it that way, users aren't going to benefit from it. The business, which, if you're working on software, chances are there's some sort of monetary thing behind it. The business is not going to be able to move forward. You're going to commit and waste time building something that is destined to fail. So long story short, this was just something that kind of perturbed me today. I've seen this more than once. I think you need to make sure that if somebody is making a suggestion, hey, we should do it this way, and if that way obviously is not going to work, right, and get the outcome that you want, right, as a team, as a solution, you need to say something. Just because your superiors, just because your boss or your manager or your project lead or whatnot is saying like, here's how we're going to do it because it's my idea, if the solution that they're proposing isn't actually a solution, you need to say something about it. You need to bring it up. You need to articulate why and make sure that they understand. Now, you can work towards making them understand, but yeah, that's basically what I wanted to make this video about. If you're a software developer, I really encourage you to make sure that you voice your opinions. And you might not always be right, but if you know in your gut that you're right, and it's like, look, here's the deal, here's the problem. Your solution is not actually a solution. It's not actually going to solve the problem, and here's why. Do not be timid. Make sure that you voice that opinion. You will actually gain respect. You'll get less respect if you are just a yes man or yes woman, and that's all you do is you just say, yep, okay, we'll do it however you want it. You're going to get less respect, because what's going to happen is you're committing, you're setting an expectation, you're going to go and then work against delivering that expectation. That expectation is going to be delivered. It's not going to solve the problem. It's going to cause this cycle of having to go back to the drawing board, figure out the right way to do it. All this time and energy and dollars are wasted. Don't play into that process. Be sure that you voice and communicate what you think is going to be proper for the situation. Don't filter your ideas and your engineering talent, right? The reason why you are hired on the gig, the reason why you're hired on the job is because you're an engineer, you have talent, you have something very valuable to provide, right? And if you're just being dictated to all the time, right, and you're filtering yourself like that, you're not doing anybody a positive, right? You're doing yourself a negative, you're doing everybody else around you a negative. And just to kind of capstone this, you can do this in a way where it's not abrasive, okay? Here's an example, okay? Let's say I'm your boss, and I say, here's the problem. We have 10,000 connected accounts in this platform, okay? And we need to make sure that our customers know that every 5 minutes, all of these connected accounts are going to be synced, right? And 100% guarantee. We're going to guarantee that to them. And so here's how I'd like you to do it. I would like you to make it so that we're only going to sync the deltas, okay? Well, what if that doesn't work, right? What if that doesn't actually solve the problem? You need to be able to voice that. And I think the way you do that would be this sort of response. I totally understand where you're coming from. I love your idea. I think that, just syncing the deltas is definitely going to lead to a performance increase. I think it's going to solve part of the problem, but hear me out. I don't believe that with my experience and what I know about this platform, that is actually going to solve all of our short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. And here's why, right? Because just syncing the deltas is not going to capture the inserts in the delete operations, and we're tethered to the fact that we have to invoke an API call every single occurrence of a user to get this done. And so just hear me out. I think I might have an alternative solution. Are you open to hearing what that alternative solution is? Now, typically if you ask somebody, are you open to hearing XYZ, they're not going to say no. And if they do say no, that's really not a good signal that you're working with somebody who's reasonable, somebody who's collaborative. So I just wanted to put that capstone out there that, like, if you run into this situation, how you respond is equally as important as you responding, right? And that you voice your opinion. So with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope that's super helpful. Real quick, if you get a chance, subscribe, like the video. I have a couple links down in the description. One is for my Stand Store. You'll find a link in that Stand Store for a free resource called the NextDev Knowledge Base, where I'm constantly putting things like this into that knowledge base for you to consume. It's a free resource. I'm trying to capture all of my experience and wisdom and package it into some sort of documentation for you to consume. And then the second link would be to my Stand Store as well. So there should be a knowledge base link and a Stand Store link. If you want, check out that Stand Store link. Maybe there's some things in there that you might find valuable. Other than that, I really appreciate your time. I hope this is super helpful and valuable to you. And yeah, I'll put some more content out like this. But yeah, don't be silent. Don't hold back. Tell people what you think, and if you disagree with them, tell them that you disagree with them, and don't be afraid of that, okay? All right, so just want to encourage all my dev family out there. I'm a dev, you're a dev. Don't be silent. We'll see you in the next one.